Hi friends, my name is architect Madhura Joshi. I'm an architect, heritage and rural regeneration expert from Bombay. We are in a fifth week of Heritage for All internship 2019. For the fifth week, I have selected theme called Management of Tangible Rural Heritage. To understand this theme, I have selected a case study of Chettinad village in Tamil Nadu state, which is located in south of India, which has a unique, rich rural built heritage. And the government of India, with some foreign organization, has created and implemented few rural tourism and heritage related projects. So, to understand how they have managed and the concept of management in rural tangible heritage, I have created a presentation for all of you. So, when we look at the rural heritage, it has a tangible, intangible heritage, which is very important to understand. The These are living, continuing, dynamic, cultural, social, environmental, and economic systems that extends across the lands. The rural intangible and intangible heritage are very important. They are critical respiratories of a traditional and indigenous knowledge, essential in an era of climate change. When we talk about tangible heritage and a rural tourism, it is very important to understand in recent year where the use of tangible heritage for the tourism is very important and has become a vital point of any tourism development plan. The rural heritage tourism is linked to practices which has no value and rural cultural culture was deemed throughout so many years. So, the heritage value of rural landscape is relatively recent and is closely related both to a new emphasis on their historical dimensions and to the different speeds of change characterizing either rural spaces and people's cultural adaptation. When we look at the different dimensions of rural tangible heritage, in this context, the management of rural landscape and the built form becomes extremely important. With the rural recent development, the heritage has received importance for its cultural value with its function. So the ideal practice for rural tangible heritage management has seen a major shift from practice of agriculture or productive approach to agriculture or heritage based comprehensive and integrated process. The new shift in approach of a heritage rural management to a relatively new and multifunctional role of agriculture and to a multidimensional function of the rural landscape is is a center of this entire concept. The heritage status of the rural landscape on its turn needs to be seen in a new way, and some categories used to characterize it, such as a historic or a traditional, should be redefined. When we categorize the rural tangible heritage in three points, the better of managing a rural tangible heritage and its landscape is by considering historic or cultural dimensions with the aim to provide sustainable planning, by integrating economic and environmental dimensions to that entire implementation in a process. The tangible heritage of a rural area is a major driving force behind the development related to tourism, urban rural linkages, and a rural upliftment. The management of a tangible rural heritage is very important because its multifunctional approach to agriculture, rural life, and spaces can provide a great future in changing ears to rural landscape, rural life, and the economy. The heritage or historical and vernacular buildings in this context deserve more attention and a better approach for inclusion in the development because they represent characteristic sign of a community environment relationship. The adaptation preservation of these buildings can be used as an effective tool for interpreting rural landscape in today's time. When we see the example of India, we have so many rural areas, peri-urban areas, or a rural areas converting into urban context or a urban pattern, where the rich tangible and intangible heritage is losing its ethos, losing its authenticity. With the changing rural character, modern lifestyle, it becomes very important to understand government, different organizations, heritage experts, and the local stakeholders' approach to protect or manage the rural tangible heritage. We need to understand what is their approach in order to revive, protect, preserve, or use the rural heritage for tourism promotion or for economic upliftment or different activities for the benefit of the community and the government. So, to understand and decode the management of tangible rural heritage, I have selected a Chettinad village project, which has a rich cultural diversity, tangible and intangible heritage, where government with the UNESCO and few foreign organization is working to promote the village at an international platform. The village was undertaken as a part of Revive Chettinad Heritage campaign conducted by UNESCO in 2017, where the organization with the French NGO ARC-HES-AS has prepared a technical documentation for implementation, and they successfully managed to implement few projects in this process. When we look at the Chettinad, it is a part of Tamil Nadu state. The Chettinad region is located in the southern part of this Tamil Nadu with a territory of 1,5550 square kilometers in the heart of the state. The Chettinad region has 73 villages and the spread over the district of a Sivagangai. Chettinad region spreading over the district and it has become a very popular destination in Tamil Nadu state. The popular tourist destination till today in the Chettinad region has always been a Raja's Palace in a Kanadukathan area. The stately homes scattered across the towns and villages of the region we can see. Chettinad has the beauty of an overall village landscape created by the harmony of architectural details and urban planning. Most interestingly, the water management system and drainage patterns created by Chettinad community. The Nagarthars, a Chettinad community in the Sivagangai district, are the predominant people of the region, flourishing in trade and commerce from many centuries. They are institutional in establishing numerous educational institutions, financial services, temples, festivals, traditional ceremonies, and social welfare. Karaikudi and its neighboring places have a quite many historical significant buildings and distinguished institutions and places. The Chettinad mansions and vernacular homes are a sumptuous, spacious, and a colorful with intricately formed structures. The Chettinad mansions are built with arrangement of rainwater harvesting to provide clean drinking water, with its culture, with food pattern, with intangible heritage of the entire community, entire rural area, and the particular house owner's family culture. The Chettinadu Palaces vernacular homes is a beautiful edifice situated in a Kanadukathan areas where the 100 years old palaces and homes we see the outstanding architecture which is still working very well in today's time. The Chettinite village influences and richnesses allow the community to build a dense network of 96 villages. All the Chettiar settlement possesses outstanding physical characteristics of urban and land use pattern with their northwest and south north grid pattern in rural areas where you see very important water system working but not preserved in today's time. The development of palatial vernacular architecture, which depict a unique cultural interchange of cultures with influence from all over the world and the combination of the vibrant Tamil tradition. This has come from the economic background of Chettinar communities, which was importantly commerce and trade. And in those years, the trading and the commerce with the Chettinar community was happening with the other part of the world. So it has completely reflected in its architecture, interior, construction, and different technology which is used in the development of rural areas. The linkage, the Chettinad architecture is closely linked to the life cycle rituals of the Chettiar community when we see the internal planning of those built heritage and the structures inside the village. The mansions were conceived to perform the different functions, rituals, and family celebrations during the course of life from birth to death. In addition to this ritual pattern, the temple and villages festivals are a part of the Chettiar culture, forming a large set of rituals all over the Tamil. So, this intangible form of the Chettinar community's culture has been completely reflected in its built heritage across these 73 to 75 villages. When we when we see the community's approach and the proposal by UNESCO government, the heritage building owners were encouraged by the tourism department and this initiative to convert heritage buildings into heritage hotels to attract tourists. Some of the Chettinad mansions have been converted into heritage hotels. The local community promotes the commercial activity around the tourist spots, local markets, antique stores, thereby to generate the income for local people. The Chattiar living traditions are still alive, which has probably enabled the preservation of many of the Chettinad buildings. The landscape has shaped over centuries was largely preserved. Some agriculture communities are carrying out their activities and maintain the landscape features and botanical species in the region, even if the young generations are more and more moving to the urban areas and abandoning their native rural places for attractive job opportunities in the cities. Among other living heritage, the unique Ayana rituals of the region and their shrines are located in sacred groves which preserves the botanical flora and fauna species of the Tamil Nadu. At present, the Chettinad region is practically unknown to tourist guides. To date, only a few tour operators have included the visit to the Raja Palaces with a lunch in an old bungalow that has been converted into a charming homestay in their program. The recent survey of some villages of the region shows that many of these mansions have already disappeared. However, this network of 73 villages and two towns still comprised of a large number of palatial, vernacular, rural built heritage and architecture. More than 10,000 homes are still in a better position by despite having the loss of 19% of the buildings in and around the region. When we see the initiative and few guidelines proposed by the UNESCO with the help of Tamil Nadu government and a French NGO, the document talks about the rural heritage development um, should have two phases of the development in the village. First phase talks about creation of heritage houses in restored places, creation of interpretation center in the old Chettinad train station, and the second phase talks about creation of eco museum in the village, center for training and production of handicrafts and applied arts, center for international exchange center. The activities in both phases are suggested and planned by the organization in order to create a synergy between creativity and a heritage conservation to serve as a reference for local people and visitors. The major objective of the initiative was to promote the culture which is offbeat to Indian and international tourists. The Chettinad has potential to provide authentic and rich experience to visitors. The Chettinad is a real treasure trove of authentic and a well-preserved rural architecture and of a ecological richness. Many of the Chettinad mansions could easily be converted into heritage hotels or homestays or mid-range hotels with the moderate alterations or appropriate extensions. Owner could also begin to improve parts of their homes in order to develop sustainable tourism. With the recent development, the community has migrated to urban areas. The urban migration and a high maintenance cost of these homes has resulted into poor state of rich, intricate, tangible heritage. In India, growing demand of these rich heritage antiques, the Chettinad palaces and homes has lost so many architectural elements due to lack of protection regulations. These are few issues which are facing locally by different stakeholders and the community, and the government on day-to-day basis is analyzing and understanding these issues which are not addressed in the document. The the initiative by government and UNESCO has focused on creation of raising regional heritage with the inclusion of local community and authorities by creating local visitor center. As per initiative's guideline, the suggestion is to develop a regional identity brand by creating a temple, architectural, handicraft, urban trails in and around the villages. The proposal has also suggested to create a regional master plan to restore or adaptive reuse of a tangible heritage with a local protection plan. The guidelines suggest to reuse the older buildings and create a tourist homestays, restaurants, coffee shops, or souvenir shops. The new tourism based activities to create local employment like interpretation center, eco museum, Chettinad government cuisine experience in these buildings, heritage or religious festivals in these buildings. The handicraft training centers can be established in old Chettinad homes. When we see all these proposals and suggestions and phase wise activities in the document, we need to understand the economic pressure and the land speculation in the big cities of Tamil Nadu have eliminated almost all of the state's traditional houses. Chettinad village is one of the unique case where the Tamil architecture, rural and urban planning at infrastructure level is still intact and in a good position. Understanding the current development and context, the Chettinad management of tangible heritage needs a proper agenda which has taken into account the interest of different multiple stakeholders. The process and implementation needs a careful planning. The fact that the region has been excluded from traditional tourist itineraries is all the more surprising as South India is a very rich has a very rich temple architecture but very poor in domestic vernacular or rural architecture. The presence of vernacular and rural architecture is very less when we talk about the South Indian tourism. So Chettinad becomes a very important case study and a very important destination to promote the rural tangible heritage. So, to promote the rural tangible heritage, the project done by UNESCO, the French NGO, and the government of Tamil Nadu in 2017 becomes very important to understand where are the gaps and how is the approach and what are the current local issues faced by local government and the stakeholders. By including this Chettinad region, tourists will gain a considerably more complete picture of another way of life in South India. A major objective of the project is to promote cultural pursuits that are off the beaten track to all the visitors. The major activities in the rural heritage development proposal has been focusing on initiatives of cultural tourism to enhance natural and built environment, the aesthetics, historical and architectural value of the buildings in the village. Respect the local community and invite active participation in the implementation. Creation of a resource center for monitoring and mitigating the impact of tourism on the environment and humans in the fragile context. To spread the awareness of the region throughout India and internationally, organize visits, conferences, different festivals, and programs to promote the region at different platforms. From the case study of Chettinad Village implementation plan, the learning shows us that there is also the cultural dimension of an agriculture landscape that endows it with a heritage function, as famously explained by the agrarian historian Emilio Serini. Agriculture landscape is a product of tangible heritage, which includes dry stone walls, terraces, rural architecture, irrigation system, vernacular homes, different barns, different food storage buildings, and an intangible heritage, which includes traditional agriculture practices, cultural music, festival. In case of Chettinad village, we see strong historic value which has perceived experience and contextualized by people. Through the study, it is evident that the multifunctionality of a management of a tangible heritage in rural context can be challenging task, but on the other hand, it can bring sectorial funds for its preservation. It is important driver of a rural economy and provides direct forms of support for non-productive services of agriculture, including its biodiversity, natural environment, cultural heritage, and a landscape. Thank you.